Another day, another episode of my team on F1 23. This is the Australian Grand Prix, the third race of the season, guys. If you haven't seen yesterday's episode, which went out pretty late, very late, and this one might be late as well, go check it out. Link in the top right for Jeddah, guys. Spoiler warning ahead, so go click on it. But let's jump into it and let's get into the action in today's episode. So first things first is going to be activities. Second driver PR filming, reaction training and chassis equipment upgrade. We also reached level 5 on Acclaim, and now level 6 has unlocked us an extra sponsor slot. So we're going to go ahead and fill that up. So we're going to have a little look, and in the end I actually looked at the weekly income versus the gold bonus, and we're going to actually go for Avanzar, which has a pretty decent balance of the three. Also the contract length is pretty decent as well, so we're going to get that on and sign them up as our secondary or first secondary sponsor of the team. Now upgrade wise, we had the pistons on a massive cheap discount, so we got those on ASAP, which cost us pennies on a dollar. And then also I was going to do another upgrade for the aero, but unfortunately we have reached the pump capacity, which is the downside of having level or spec 0 facilities right now, is that we can't really do much. Now we had a failure on the plank, which was meant to arrive for this race, so we're going to have to repurchase it and get it on the car for the next race in Miami, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, pretty much if all goes well, we should have 3 upgrades on the car next race, guys, which should be interesting. And yeah, for this weekend we have rain forecast in qualifying, quite a bit of it, especially in the first half of the session, so we'll see how that affects things in the session here today. Also performance wise, we have now dropped to bottom as Alpha Tauri have brought upgrades along with everybody else. Now your eyes are not deceiving you. If you didn't see yesterday's episode, I said spoiler warning, we got an amazing podium in Jeddah last time out. It was actually insane. A brilliant drive, a brilliant strategy, and we pulled it out the bag. So are we going to reach those lofty heights today? Who knows? Realistically, probably not, but if there's a safety car or something going wrong with the strategy, or if someone else might have an issue, it might go in our way, it might go our favour. Anyway, practice-wise, tyre wear was pretty much standard. Pace was actually not too bad considering it was on mediums, and we also picked up a similar haul of R&D points compared to the last race in Jeddah. So things are ticking over pretty nice. We've also got some discounts to apply, but like I said, we've got hopefully a triple upgrade on the way for the next race if there's no failures, and that will also enable us to push on and get more upgrades. Now the main thing I'm looking at is trying to save money for marketing spec 1, which is going to give us more acclaim to get up faster on the levels, get more sponsors, get more cash flow, and that enables us to do a lot more things in this career mode save, where we are limited thanks to you guys by reducing all the settings and R&D points, cash, acclaim, all that stuff. So basically we're going to have to really be efficient with our workflow. Now qualifying time, rain absolutely pouring down. I've also reshuffled the sponsors with the new secondary sponsor on the car as well. So you'll see now on the halo we have our title sponsor Xenon Dynamics. Now first lap in qualifying gave us P8, which was actually not a bad start, to be fair. First lap in the wet conditions. I then went for a second attempt, and as I always say, the second one is always faster because you find more time, whereas before I was a bit conservative. Now it was going well up until the last 3 corners, and we got a little bit dangerous, a little bit risky, and a little bit of opposite lock, a little bit of sideways action, but we do improve by 4/10 and jump to P3, a 10th off Hamilton.
We anticipate an end to this rain in around 5 minutes. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
And yet again, we are out of Q1, 3 in a row, and we did it with some margin. Now, the rain was actually letting off towards the end of Q1, but it was very slow, and the AR went out again, and no one really improved that much. There were some small improvements, but nothing major. You can see we actually finished a second off the pace rather than a 10th, so some other cars did find time, but I knew I was safe, so we didn't have to go again and burn another set of inters.
No threat of rain for the time being, conditions look good. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Now Q2 was interesting because the rain had stopped pretty much as soon as I got on the track, literally stopped, but the track was still soaking wet. I mean, look at the spray on the tyres, it was still very much intermediate. So I thought, you know what, let's do a few laps, because it might be one of them funny situations where it dries out very slowly. So even if we go for dries, the grip may not be there initially, so it might be a funny session, you know, and this carries over from Q1 as well, where it's just very, very slowly getting dry, but it's, you know, taken a long time. So you can see we're P6 already with our first time lap. We're now on our second attempt, and we're up by 6/10, so this is going to be a pretty strong lap.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
And that gave us P2 behind Verstappen, albeit by 7/10, but still P2 as now Norris jumps us to second place. And I then went for a cool down lap and one more push lap, so still on track, trying to find time on these inters, and DRS got enabled, which is a big sign for dries, but you can see the track still looks pretty damn wet. We go purple in sector 1, and by the end of the lap the track really started to pick up and ramp up, and we're now a second up on this lap. So Verstappen 24.4 setting the benchmark. We're going to set a 24.1 and take away P1 in Q2. Now I got back to the garage, and within minutes suddenly it just went dry, just like that, so quick. So we had to go back out, and yeah, we're going to be the last car to start a lap, but the track still isn't fully there. It's still rubbering in. It looks dry, but it isn't. It's still a bit slidey, a bit grippy, or not grippy, sorry, and a bit kind of oily. It doesn't have that grip, and the car's just sliding a lot. And you'll see we take a very cautious turn 1 with a bit of oversteer on the apex, trying to find that grip and that confidence. Down to turn 3, down to third gear, smooth on the power here. Very tricky traction zone as you try to get the power down. Now Hamilton sets the new benchmark. The back end again trying to fight away as we look to find time, making our way across the sector 1 split into the start of sector 2. Lando sets a new benchmark into the 18s as well. So the lap times seem to be dropping here, which tells me the track is getting faster by the second, as each car that passes is going faster and faster and faster. Through the second sector split, compared to Magnussen, we are up by a tenth. The Sainz sets a new benchmark, but we missed the apex through the chicane, and we have a bit of a moment on the exit and invalidate, which is a devastating error. We were up by 4.5 seconds, which probably could have been about 5+ by the time we crossed the line. So if you do the math and shave off 5 seconds off our time, it would have been very close with Piastri. Literally, we could have made it, but it would have been marginal. So I'm gutted. We're out in P16. We messed up our single lap, and that's the only downside about having a track dry out the last second, is that the AI can obviously push flat out. Me as a human who needs a bit of adaptation, you have to deliver on one lap, and it's so difficult to get it right. So yeah, unfortunately we're out, and our mini streak of Q3s comes to an end at 2 after round 3 in Australia catches us out. So yeah guys, qualifying done. Let's get into the race and let's see if we can fight back into the points.
Well, once upon a time, this used to be the season opener before it fell victim to a pandemic reshuffling. But now Albert Park is back at the heart of the F1 calendar, so welcome to sun-kissed Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit, 3.28 miles around, with the streets making for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 14 corners around the lake, with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Albon, Stroll, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Martinez, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Joe, Ocon, Sargent, and Liam Lawson. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And what would any Grand Prix weekend be without the one and only Natalie Pinkham? Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen?
What a quality performance. The big question, though, is how does that translate on race day? Can they hold on to that lead? And apart from that, keep an eye out for anyone getting a good launch from the midfield. You see it happen from time to time, and it can really throw a spanner into the races of the quicker cars and push them onto a more risky strategy.
So back-to-back Q3s, Bahrain, Jeddah, but in Australia that record has fallen away. So we're going to have to manually fight our way back into the points of this race. This is going to be the first time we get to test the real pace of the car. We've had a lot of rain in qualifying, so it's hard to tell exactly where we are in the ranks in terms of competitiveness, so I don't know what to expect. Anyway, race-wise, we're going to stick to the plan, stick to the strategy. So we're going to start on mediums and then go for the hards. Very simple, one stop. We have soft tyres available if we need them, but I'm going to stick with the plan. Fuel-wise, 51.6, practice was 51.2, so that should be just about right. But yeah, the key thing here is hopefully getting a good start, jump into like P13, P12, and hopefully manage the race and make some slow progress. Also, strategy will be key. There could be some two-stoppers, so that would be interesting. Either way, guys, let's get into it. Prediction down below, like the video, and let's get to work. Here we go then. 29 laps, Australia. Let's get to work. Let's line her up beautifully. Bit aggressive to the inside. The launch to turn 3 is going to be key, so hopefully we get that good start. Right then, let's do this. Lights are on. And away we go. Good start.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Gonna force my way through the middle here and just make a space for myself. Getting Bottas and Stroll, crucial double pass. Now pressuring Hulkenberg. Oh my god, that was late, but we're gonna go for it. Up the inside. Hulkenberg fights back. We're gonna hold the outside line though. And make that move stick. And that is P13. Not quite able to get Pierre on softs, but that is a brilliant start. A few more medium runners up ahead. Albon there as well in the Williams, which he shouldn't be too quick, but let's see. Onto the back straight then for the first time. You can see looks like we're lacking a bit of horsepower. I tried to get in that space, but Bottas just carved in, so we're going to have to let him go. So it seems like we might be on the back foot. You heard the radio. We've got some engine wear as now Stroll looking to go back through. I won't let that one go so easily as we can fire back on the brakes. So that may be a factor, the engine wear. We'll see how that plays out. Either way, decent start, decent first lap. Did what I could. We'll see if we can hold on. Pierre on that soft tyre is going to cause a bit of trouble trying to make overtakes, so there will be battles ahead. Long race. Let's see how it goes. Bottas having a look at Hulkenberg, but thinks better of it. Gasly has overtaken Albon ahead as well. DRS will now be enabled, so this race is going to open up. Bottas, oh my god, almost got swiped out there by Hulkenberg. Stroll lurking. Got to try and latch onto that little group of cars ahead on the tail end of the points. I think that runs up to P10 exactly, just. So that's probably going to be our objective this race, as it has been in the first two races. Good final corner here. We are very slow on the straight. I'm also trying to see if I can save some battery at times. Bottas may well look for a move on Hulkenberg here down a turn 3. That Haas seems pretty slippery on the straight, pretty fast. Here comes Stroll. It's very easy. Back up the inside though, we'll get that one back straight away. This time Bottas is going to get it. Here comes Stroll. We'll hold the inside line. These two go side by side. Hulkenberg holds on for a bit longer. Up the inside of Valtteri we go. A little bit of a drift on the way through, but I feel like I could overtake. We are fast in the final sector. This is a better position for us to be in, just sitting behind Hulkenberg without DRS. They're battling quite a bit up ahead, so it may be worth looking to pass Hulkenberg here. I will see if I can get him down to turn 3. I want to make it efficient, so I don't want to have to waste time passing. And then we'll use all the battery throughout the lap. Hopefully get clean air in sector 3, which is what we need, and then try to pull away. Hulkenberg covers the inside. That's not efficient at all. Contact. Hulkenberg may have got damage there as he runs into my right front.
That was a bit borderline there. We're lucky to have gotten away with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit out of control. It wasn't entirely my fault. He could have just driven a bit more to the right. Anyway, that's damage for Hulkenberg without a doubt. He's losing so much time. So let's try and push now. Let's see if we can try and get onto Albon and Gasly. Not the best move, but let's That's unfortunate. They've also actually latched onto the Mercedes ahead, so that train in front has reformed. Hulkenberg's losing a lot of time. He's now been overtaken by Stroll. I wonder if Hulkenberg actually lost his whole wing. They're battling in the final sector here, so we're closing in a little bit. We're also broken away, but Bottas is catching back up a little bit. I really don't know where I stand on the pace this race. I don't really know.
Some information on Magnussen for you. They seem to have an issue.
Okay, that's good. Just ahead of us. I welcome that information. Although P10 may get away. Magnussen isn't that slow. I'm not catching that much. Also, Bottas is a bit quicker than me. I've also got a bit of fuel trouble. We're going to have to save fuel. I've gone a bit too low. So we'll have to try and manage. Hopefully we'll get some of that back in the pit stop. But that's not a good sign. Bottas back within my DRS now. Behind Magnussen there, just trying to see if I can lift and coast a bit. Pierre now pits, so that's enough for the soft tyre. We'll try and get Magnussen to turn 3. Hopefully this time it's a clean one. Bottas lurking, gotta be careful. There we go, that's a nice clean move. This time we had the inside line available so we could take it. Let's try and pull away now and break a gap to Bottas, using Magnussen as a buffer. Bottas battling pretty heavily with Magnussen, so...
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
We lost some valuable time. I don't really have the pace right now. Albon's much quicker than me, so... barring a bit of luck, I don't think we're going to catch him today. Fernando Alonso in the pit lane. So is Checo. So Alonso is starting on softs and going very long, so the Aston Martin with a good tyre wear. So we'll jump on these cars. This would be a good time now for a VSC. Oh, could it be? Nope. Yes, again, Williams with terrible reliability. Sargent out, but no safety car VSC from that. And now Russell, Piastri, Leclerc in the pit lane. So we'll move up into the top 5.
Okay, you're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Just trying to manage fuel right now, just so we can make it, but we need someone to drop out the top 10.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
Will we make it? We're so far from the pits. Will it convert to a full safety car? Oh my god.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Ask and you shall receive. I just realised I've knocked down a lean revs to try and save some fuel. Now's the time to get our fuel back. I forget you can do it in a VSC as well, not just the full safety car. If this could hold on, this would be brilliant.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens.
Oh, at least we've got to save some fuel. But now we'll box.
Okay, clear.
So in we go. Shame we couldn't get that. Pit stop done on the VSC, that would have been insane. Hit the wall there. Hopefully I didn't get damage. I'll pray that we didn't, because I can't change the wing now. Right, clean stop. Looks okay on the MFD.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Interestingly, Hulkenberg on softs. We're going to be just ahead of Bottas and Magnussen, so we're back in this battle.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
These two are still going at it. Just trying to not stay out of it, but try to keep it clean. So Lawson in the pits. We've now got a full charge of battery. Hulkenberg pits as well, so we're back up to P12. And then we get Bottas as P11, so it's back where we were, but it's not quite points. Even if we just, got a couple of seconds of that VSC pit stop, that would have made a big difference. Personal best, good pace. Happy to sit behind Bottas, to be fair. It will help us manage fuel and ERS. Ricciardo's pretty quick right now on that fresh medium, but he'll die off soon enough. Also, the engine wear, by the way, it's just the ICE taking a battering. M2H also pretty second hand, but the ICE is just knackered after 3 rounds. Ricciardo to the outside. Still trying, that medium is working pretty well. But we're quite comfortable right now holding our own behind Valtteri. Here he comes again. To the outside goes Ricciardo. Look at the overspeed, man. We'll hold our own on the inside line, but that AlphaTauri's just some good straight line speed. I'm thinking about passing Bottas, to be fair, but we are lacking a bit of straight line speed to compete. Gasly pits again, so that now means this is for a point. Pierre for the 2-stop, so this opens things right up. So now we have a race on our hands for a point. So now we have to change our approach. I was going to pass, but I'll actually sit behind now because it will be better long term to manage fuel and battery so we can use it later on in the race and also save some tyres. I think I've just seen Perez behind. Oh wow, Perez is 14th. Okay, well in that case, points may not be on the table. Not sure what Perez is doing so far down, but I'm going to try and pass Bottas and see if I can pull away. Although I'll say that, again, keeping this shape, it's a bit like science in Singapore in real life. It makes it hard for cars behind to pass because of the DRS effect. So I may actually see if I can hold and just basically pass Bottas in the last lap if we can last that long in this train. Oh, Perez through on Magnussen. That should be interesting. Perez versus Ricciardo. Might be seeing that in real life to be fair. Also, I'm getting pressured by Ricciardo here quite heavily. Perez is very close as well. Look how close we all are. I think we're going to have to go for it. I feel like I'm a bit quicker than Bottas now. I think he's struggling. We've saved up a decent bit of battery, albeit not as much as I would have liked, but fuel's not an issue anymore, so we can push flat out on that front. So let's see. Let's try and go for it here and see if we can drop them all. Double DRS, clearly moving to 1. Right, it's time to sign out. Let's try and brake or use the battery on this one. That was excellent through there. There we go, got the gap already. Let's keep burning. Here we go, Ricciardo battling with Bottas. We need a bit of that going on behind for us to really break a gap. Ricciardo is cooking in that medium, by the way. We've got a bit of respite. As long as Checo does not appear in P12, we'll be okay. The longer that lasts, the better. Oh, there we go. Wow, straight away into P11. Never mind. We'll see if they can fight back, but I don't think they will. Right then, so Perez, DRS on the back straight. So he may well even get the run of me here, to be fair. The Red Bull's an absolute cruise ship on the straight. I think we'll just hold on for now. But he will breeze past on this straight. I don't really have an answer. I've got no battery to really use. I'll send them wide.
And that's just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Right. I'll see if I can try and stay in his DRS for as long as possible. Maybe he can drag us towards Albon, but I think it's too little too late. I think now we're just going to have to accept P11 unless something were to happen up ahead. I'm trying so hard to hang on here with such little battery. We just get destroyed in the straight. I mean, even with the DRS open, we can't keep up. And I think this may be the end of it. Perez about to drop me now in his second. Just got to try and nail that final sector, but it's not going to be easy. Gap over a second. Just managed to hold on there, but I think that's going to be all she wrote. We'll lose it at some point this lap.
Okay, we're reaching a danger point with the wear on the MGU-H. Overheating the engine will exacerbate the issue, so keep temps under control, please.
Not exactly ideal, but I can't do much about it. We're going to go through so many engines this season. It's going to be funny. Well, Verstappen wins comfortably in Australia, Ferrari 2-3. And then a big battle for P4, both Mercs, both McLarens, and an Aston Martin. For us though, it's going to be our first non-Q3 and also our first non-points finish of the season. As we're going to fall short on P11. Stroll making a push, using all the energy modes here on the last lap. We're just cruising to the end now. But still, we gave it a good go, gave it a good crack, and we almost got points. So we'll try again next race and hopefully bounce back. But still, not a bad race, all things considered.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Now Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they are very much at one with the car, which is a cliche, but it's true. It's not an easy process, and that work is very much paying off.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
Well, there we go then. Race done in Albert Park. Verstappen the winner, Sainz second, Leclerc third. Russell P4 with the fastest lap of the race, so Mercedes showing some pace on a single lap. But yeah, just disappointing. Didn't get the point, which is a real shame, but we tried and fell just a bit short. The pace wasn't there this weekend. That's the reality. We weren't quick enough. We tried to make it work by, holding onto DRS, trying to manage fuel and do lots of all the tricks in the books. But yeah, I think the key thing, if we'd had that VSC stop, that may have just changed it for us, but the timing was just off, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, Lawson P21 at the back of the pack, pretty much, so poor to see. But anyway, standings for us, we're still in the top 10, Alonso 10 behind, and Verstappen leads the way in the constructors. Still P5 for Aston Martin, now 10 behind, and yeah, we'll try and see what we can do. I think P7 is quite realistic, to be fair, but we'll see how that goes. Alpine yet to score a point, which is a big surprise so far. But guys, like the video, subscribe for more daily F1 content on my channel. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, please. This really helps me out reach the 100k sub goal this year. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the channel as always, and finally check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. But guys, cheers for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.